What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumbass. Like and subscribe, hype. So. I was thinking today. I know it's rare. I saw the smoke and everything. Um, about how Xbox, Helix, Asha, and the team can what they can do in order to guarantee win uh, the coming generation or the coming transition into the newer generation, which is going to include cross-gen and all that stuff. And I wrote it down because brain. So the first one on the list, in no particular order, is support physical discs. Right? It's a no-brainer, but it doesn't have to be like, oh, it's gonna be all 100 million physical discs or whatever. It's you can have a smaller percentage of discs that are manufactured, that are offered up and stuff based off of what the sales are, the trends and stuff, and you just have it flexible enough to adjust the volume that you produce. And if they sell out, you say, okay, they sell out, we're gonna make another million discs. We're gonna run another million discs, and then boom, just something like that, so that you know it's money. And also, what you can do, and I was listening to Sacred Symbols, don't judge, but I think they did mention that you can charge more. You can charge what it costs you to make the physical discs, so that the price is the same for the actual. So it would cost more than the digital, obviously, and that's how it should be. But I would say, like, if they knocked off $10 from the digital and then they charge an extra 10 for the physical, that would solve it right there. Probably, maybe, not sure what the numbers are, but anyway, that would help a lot, and that would be a big slap to PlayStation across the internet for what they're going through right now. Number two, with the physical disc type of thing, my idea is that, I said it before, like, create a collector's edition. I call it the premium collector's edition, or premium collection, or whatever you want to call it. Premium something. Premium collector's edition sounds easy. So, right? And it doesn't even have to have the game. It can have, like, whatever, 35 megabytes of a key license or whatever. But what you do have on the disc is the soundtrack. And imagine if the soundtrack is in DVD audio. I don't even know if they have Blu-ray audio, but you could just be DVD audio, which is that 48 or is that 96? I don't even know what the hertz are on that, but that would be cool. Plus art book, and if you want to be frosty and nice, behind the scenes, just stuff like that, like the stuff that we used to get on the bonus disc of DVDs, like, oh, behind the scenes, this is how they made this scene. That was nice. I love that stuff. And Sony was like the first ones to take that out. And they tried to do it. Oh, you sign into BD Live and you get to watch the behind the scenes. I'm like, I don't want to know. So what do? We go on YouTube and watch it there now. See how that works out? They ruined it. So I will say, if that's a collector's edition, and I'm like, yo, that soundtrack is nice, I'm gonna get it. It's like, I bought the Shinobi Art of Vengeance. That was called, right? The newest one, right? I bought that digital, and I bought the super duper edition. I think it was $40 or whatever. It wasn't expensive. And it had the art book, and it had the soundtrack. And I wanted the soundtrack because Yuzo Koshiro, I was like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? Streets of Rage, let's go. He's alright. I mean, it's not as impactful because when he originally did, like, Streets of Rage and Revenge of Shinobi, it's on the Genesis, and the Genesis was like, it was nice, and as far as the audio, it was nice too, but we weren't used to that high fidelity type of tracks, and it sounded like something that was on the radio, except for the quality of the drums and stuff that were low. I don't know if they were 8-bit or whatever he had rendered them out as, but it was like, yo, they had vocal samples in it. I think it was James Brown, but I was like, yeah, that's crazy. And so that kind of was cool, but then I listened to the new stuff, and new stuff was good. He's good, whatever. But it doesn't have the same impact. And also, what I had said was, he should have, what he did back then, he emulated the one of the genres that were popular back then. So he should have done the same thing now. I'm not saying he should do all trap tracks or something like that, but give us some modern day club, like do some EDM or something. That would have been crazy nice, bro. I'd have been, That would have elevated it. If you would have followed that same kind of I guess format or kind of ideology as far as the music goes. But I guess the game takes place in a certain amount in a time frame. But I thought it did do a jump, a time jump, because Axel got a beard and everything. So anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, premium collector's edition with soundtracks, art books, behind the scenes, all that good. You know how many I would buy every collector's edition, because you like talking about behind the scenes. You're showing us the animatics, or you're showing us, the whatchamacallit, you see the actors doing the motion capture or whatever. You see devs like, this is how we built the model and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Come on, that would be dope. Do that. Okay, number 3. Change the EULA. Now, I don't know what the EULA says specifically on the Xbox side. We know what Sony's side says, and but I will assume that all of these companies have similar EULAs. Steam, Xbox, Nintendo, Sony. I'm sure that all those are similar to protect the company. Obviously, that's what it is. But I would say change it so that the language is such that we can have ownership of the digital. It isn't like a license that you can just take away because you feel like it. There needs to be specific reasons why you can take it away. And if we break those rules, like say if it's like, oh, we're pirating stuff, and you prove that we pirated stuff on the Xbox, and there it is, and it's pirated, then we can take it away. Y'all can take it away. It's like, all right, well, that's against the rules. We're not supposed to be stealing pirate games on the Xbox. I'm gonna just go to PC. But I'm just saying, like, specify. And if it's in there, it's in there. Like I said, I haven't read it, so maybe I should read it. Anyway, yeah, that's one thing, because if it's the same as PlayStation, then we're just talking in circles right now. But anyway, number 4. This is a very important one, because there's been a bunch of talk about how, the Helix is changing. They're not gonna have this and that, and what if they have the storefronts? Why would they buy that? That was Colin Moriarty's argument. Why would that's killing their brand? It's cannibalizing the sales. Why would people go to the Xbox store when they could just buy it on Steam? Blah blah blah. Here's the solution. I know Asha. I know Matthew. I know they've all thought of this already. They've had a meeting about this probably last year, whenever they started. But here it is. Allow the games from all of those different ecosystems to be played on the Xbox Helix. Meaning, you got Steam library, you can connect the Steam library to your Xbox Helix. The games populate, you could download them, whatever, and play those games that you own on Steam. Same with GOG, same with Epic Games, same with whatever other Battle.net, whatever. All the launchers, all the stores, all that stuff, right? Here's the thing. Those stores are not allowed on Helix. Only the Xbox store, the Microsoft store, whatever they're going to call it. I don't know. The Xbox store, yes. But all the other stores, if you want to get a game on Steam, you got to go to PC. Or you get it on your handheld, you can do it through there. Just saying. So if they do that, that solves the problem of people buying the Helix and not paying into the Xbox ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't, because if people buy the Helix to play specifically Steam games, then that's what happens. So, but it's an inconvenience for a Steam gamer on the Helix. So, I mean, you know what? I don't know. I'm a little 50-50 on it. Now that I'm thinking about it, because if Xbox is still putting games on Steam, then a Steam player might not buy the Helix because it's not convenient for them to still have to go and buy their games on computer or a laptop or whatever. But that's not true. Okay, I take that back, because people who buy the Helix will put the Helix in the living room. They want to put it on the big screen and play all their games with the big screen and have all their games there. So I take it back. Yes, so that works. And that seems like a good compromise, where it's like, okay, you're not cannibalizing the sales of games on Xbox storefronts, but you're allowing gamers who have libraries up in other places to access their libraries on the Helix, which gives Helix an inherent value. It gives Steam players and GOG players and Epic Game players a reason to buy a Helix. Be like, yo, I want to get a box in my living room, but the Steam machine is trash. I'm not getting that. I'm definitely not getting a PlayStation because they ain't got no games. So what do? You get a Helix because you can play all your Steam games. Boom. There it is. That's solved. Okay. And number 5, which is probably the most important one, is they need to price this console under $900. Under, it needs to be $899 or less. If they have a chance in the snowballers of houses is to even have people buy this thing. Now, what would it take for them to do that? I mean, if they did all the things that I say here, especially the whole store thing, then they could potentially subsidize a little bit of it, maybe, or they could subsidize it for a year or two or whatever, and say, all right, waiting for the RAM prices to subside, or just buy it from that Chinese, what is it, CKM2, I forget what they're called, but they're startup, and yes, their RAM, they don't have that high speed RAM for the servers, but we don't need that. We just need DDR5 or whatever they're going to put. I don't know if they have 7 yet. I think they're definitely doing 5. So, I would say stick to 7. What they need to do is whatever PlayStation is doing as far as the speed of their RAM, they need to stay in line and put more in. They need to beat PlayStation at that because, like I said, the main reason, a couple of reasons why the PlayStation 4 was more better than the Xbox One is because they had faster RAM. It was cheaper. It was a bunch of things, but like the machine itself was a better machine because of that. And then the Xbox One X came out, and it was like, what? Hold my beer and my pizza and my coffee and my milkshake, and then they just smacked them across the internet. Xbox One X is the greatest console that generation, but whatever. But the price is super super duper important, and it's something that I've been thinking about, and I've said it before. I'm like, oh, it's justified if it's like a PC and there's 48 gigs of RAM, then I'd pay $1,200 for it because basically it would be worth it based off of what a $1,200 PC would be with 48 gigs of RAM, and actually the memory they could put 512 in there, and I'd be like, you know what, that's fine as long as you give me some reasonable way to access expandable memory, like off the shelf, not like some bespoke what you did before with the CF adapter thing or whatever, CF cards. Yeah, don't do that. Or just have an adapter, something like that. Or you might as well just make those cartridges. I was thinking about that too. I was like, wait, you can make physical cartridges. And I said it in another video, like, yeah, you make a little port on the top and you just put it. Then you can put like 5 games on it or something. If it's 512, 4 or 5 games, that'd be all right. It wouldn't be all right, but I'm just saying, there's options. But yeah, I mean that's my 1 through 5 list of what would make Xbox smack PlayStation up and down coming in this coming generation and in this coming movement. I don't even. It is technically a new generation, but it doesn't feel like it because this will be a heavy cross generation cross over time, especially for PlayStation, because they are literally building their systems to do that. They're not even hiding it. Like, yeah, low power mode. I'm like, that's a PS5 handheld. If they call it a PS6 handheld, they need to be smacked because it's literally on PS5 right now, the low power mode. So I'm like, okay. And they said people have been using it, and they say, yeah, it's not. I mean, you lower the resolution to like 720p or something like that, and you cut the frame rate. So if it's 60, it goes to 30. I'm like, yeah, who's gonna? I mean, I guess if it's a handheld, so whatever. We'll see how that works out. But I don't know how many people are gonna buy that because handheld is like, if it's just a PlayStation, then it's like I could just get a Steam machine, or I can get a ROG Xbox Ally, or I can get a Switch, which is, as far as like kids and parents, the parents buy the kids a Switch. They're not buying, little Jimmy, a PlayStation 5 handheld. No, no, no. First of all, you ain't got no games. Second of all, if they're playing any of the games like Minecraft, Roblox, and all that, first of all, Roblox, I don't think any kid is playing Roblox on like the Switch or what. I mean, sure, but a lot of them are just playing on their tablet, playing on their phones, and they're good. They're good at the boop 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 on the screens. I'm like, whatever. My nephew and his cousin literally sitting there playing Roblox. I don't know a game inside of Roblox, but they're playing. I'm like, oh, y'all are. And sometimes they play Minecraft. Minecraft's still relevant. Sony doesn't have a game like that, by the way. Y'all know that, right? Okay, just saying, just checking. Concord, never forget. Yeah. So no more physical. Everyone's cynical. Nobody's wanting what you're selling is pitiful. Anyway, yeah. So those are my ideas. I'm sure that they have better ideas. I'm sure that they have bigger brains, they have bigger wallets, they have bigger everything. That's arguable. Arguable? Anyway, yeah. So it's make or break, man. It's like, yo, I'm like, Xbox has the opportunity right now. If they do all the right moves, they could just smack Sony through the internet so hard that it's their PS3 time again. I mean, they acting like it's PS3 time again. All Xbox got to do is be like, yo, 360 again. Boom. Call it the 360 squared. Oh, the 720. I don't care what you call it. Well, honestly, just call it the Helix. Honestly, I hope that they keep the Helix name, because it's a cool name. The logo's cool. The logo is a Helix and the X put together. Come on, son. And I know there's like, oh, there's history. They're changing the Xbox logo. No, I don't care. Freaking do the thing and just give us the Helix. And it's like, the thing about the name Helix is like, it plays into what they're doing with the backwards compatibility PC Helix with the PC and the game and the console hybrid, not hybrid. It's a Helix. It's a joining of the two DNA strands. I don't know how genetics works. It's a joining of the two ecosystems, if you will. And there's a lot of work to be done on this, on the store side, on the PC side. But if they can get it to one unified vision and one unified functionality that just works, it's bad to say that, but that's what it needs to be. It needs to just work, and they're moving towards that. And with this, I was playing Conquer the other day. I was like, yo, man, I forgot, because I was playing Conquer's Bad Fur Day, which is the original on Rare Replay back in the day, and now Conquer Live and Reloaded is the remake. And so I was like, oh, and I totally forgot about all the fourth wall breaking stuff, and he's talking about, oh, the devs did this, and he's like talking to the camera. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But there was something that was messed up with my save, and it put me in a spot. I was like, and I got trapped. I got trapped in the beer in the beer level, where it wouldn't open like a door. I couldn't get through the door. I'm like, what? I was trying to hit it with I was like, I don't understand. The little monk dude was in there. I was like, whatever. So I just started over. But it's like, it's so crazy, man. And it's like, anyway, they have this opportunity. They have all these things that they're doing, and it seems like it may happen. And that's, you can call it hopium or whatever, but I'm looking at PlayStation, and they are deliberately destroying their brand day by day. And they literally don't care to be the good guy anymore. You know that saying, Batman. Which one was that? That was the Dark Knight. Yeah, the Dark Knight. You long. Harvey Dent said it is. You live long enough. You're the hero long enough to live long enough to become the villain. I'd messed that up, but you know what I'm saying. And Sony's becoming the villain. I mean, they've always been the villain, but they have good. They have good money to pay people to say things that make them look good. Is that about right? Yeah, yeah. You know, like Matt Piscatella, look at it, throwing out these numbers. I'm like, you're giving us specific numbers that aren't the complete. Give us world numbers. Oh, you don't. You can't. So you're only going to give us USA numbers. Is that North America, or is that just? Is that all the America? Is that Canada too, or no? I mean, I'm like, you're giving us worthless numbers because the sales, the physical sales, could be the least in the U.S. There could be more in Japan, more in Europe, more in all the other places. But nobody's saying that. Nobody's considering that. He didn't even say that. And so I'm like, y'all, it's just so annoying. And all the donkey unicorns and ponies are running with these numbers. Look at the see, that's how it is. They're not selling. That's why it's physical now. I'm like, all right, y'all ain't got y'all are so stupid that y'all are just asking to be bent over. No Vaseline, man. I mean, I know y'all are used to it. Ooh, I was about to say something really bad. I know y'all are used to it, but that doesn't make it right. Their behavior is not right. Sony's behavior is not right. And if you want to be a customer in this hobby, then you should act like a customer and not act like a BI. Don't act like a $2 hoe. Somebody flipping quarters on your way. You're like, ooh, daddy, give me some more quarters. That's the idea. My brain went to Ralph Bakshi. Bakshi. Why am I forgetting his last name? Yeah. What was that? It was Frisk the Cat, but it wasn't Frisk the Cat. It was the other Cool World movie. Bakshi. Wow. Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the point is that there aren't enough people that are understanding what PlayStation is. A lot of the casuals don't understand what PlayStation is, what they're doing, what they're getting into. They don't know about the Crunchyroll thing that's happening. They don't know about the 551 movies that they just took out of people's collections. People paid for them. They took them out. They don't know about that stuff. And if they did, then maybe they would be like, hold up, I bought something and they took it away and then blah, blah, blah. Unless it happened to them and then they're like, yo, I'm out. But they probably don't know. They probably didn't even watch. They bought it and then they didn't watch it, or they watched it once and it's 3 years later and they're like, oh, let me go watch it, and then it's like it's not there. It's like, where's my movies at? Then they'll find out like 2 years from now. But that's why we gamers, real gamers, need to keep it up. We need to keep yelling. We need to keep telling the casuals what's up, so they know they can make an informed decision. They can say, and the whole idea, the whole kind of feeling of, yeah, this is my last PlayStation console. PlayStation 5 is my last console. That's not good. I did not hear people say that. When the Xbox One was coming out on PlayStation 4, they didn't say that. They didn't, like when the 360 and the PS3, right? And 361, right? And then PlayStation, they, Xbox people didn't say, oh, Xbox 360 is my last Xbox console, I'm going to PlayStation. They didn't say that. They had no reason to, because they didn't know. But, and the PlayStation people were like, I'm not going to buy a PlayStation 4 because the 360 was good, so I'm going to get another Xbox. Not really, no. Because, Sony was doing some okay stuff. But now, Sony's not doing okay stuff. And people are like, yeah, we mad. And so I'm not gonna buy another PlayStation. This is my last PlayStation. I'm going to PC. I'm going to this. I'm going to that. Except for MBG, little flipper flopper, dolphin teeth, mouth flower, bastard. And that's one of the problems. Like these influencers, these guys, these ponies, these donkey unicorns who have sway, who have say in a way. You gonna flip flop, then I know you lost some people because your audience was like, yo, man, yeah, and they were with you, and then you got all soft. Pause. And you turned into a bi real quick. Come on, I thought you were a man of principles. You got two capybara on your face. You didn't talk. You didn't like talk to them first and say, "Yo, man, yo, fellas, what's going on?" They didn't tell you. They didn't whisper in your ear. Yeah, man, you should stick to your guns, man. Get a PC and do the PC thing. I mean, you already got a PC, but yeah, play on PC. He's like, I don't want to play on PC. I don't want to leave. I'm like, man, shoot. I got no problem leaving. I would leave so fast. Xbox needs to mess up real good. I'm gone. When Sega went out, when Sega stopped the Dreamcast, I was like, all right, I'm done. Peace out, homie. I left gaming for like 2 years. I was like, I don't need this. I'm gonna watch movies, and that's it. I'll play Dreamcast until I run the wheels off this bad boy, Tokyo Extreme Racer. Yeah. I was like, yeah, nah, I'm good. And I lived my life. I did other things, more music. You know what I mean? And the same thing will happen. Although it'll be different now because I got one toe in the PC. So I'm like, all right, well, I can do PC. It's no problem. And I would definitely do, I would definitely lean more towards PC. I wouldn't do play. I'm never buying a PlayStation. Let's just be real. You know, I know there's a lot of flip floppers out there. You know, yeah, MBG. You got freaking Crab Gamer. You got all these freaking ponies, donkey unicorns. Not me. Nah, bro. I'm like, yo, there's nothing that PlayStation has that I want. Nothing. I'm like, your games are boring the hell out of me. I'm looking at Wolverine, and I'm like, and the thing is like, I used to be a graphics whore, and I can appreciate good graphics and stuff, but I'm like, it doesn't affect me the way it used to. And like, I play Space Harrier is the game that made me fall in love with video games. I know I keep saying it. I keep bringing it up. Power Drift, another game. All Yu Suzuki games, all Sega games. That's why I like Sega. That's why I'm a Sega dude, right? And Power Drift technically is not the best. It's super confusing because it's super scalar and it's all rough and crazy and chaotic. But it's that energy that it gives you. And the graphics aren't. Oh, the graphics are the best. No, they're pixel graphics that scale in your face, and you know how that works. And even Space Harrier, I mean, for the time in 85, 86, whenever it came out, it had really cool graphics. But it was more about the scaling and the faux 3D that it did. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. You know, and it opened a gateway in my mind, like, oh, this crazy stuff is possible. And then I'm looking at PlayStation's games like, oh, that looks like the other game, which looked 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 like the other game that was good. So they took one good game and they said, let's make it again, make it again, make it again. The only difference that Wolverine has that the other games have that Wolverine doesn't, no bow and arrow. If Wolverine had a bow and arrow, I'm like, y'all are foolish. If Hawkeye shows up in Wolverine, then that's it. Then I'm done. I'm like, no, y'all, there's no way y'all put a bow and arrow in Wolverine. There's no way. I mean, Jean is kind of close. She was shooting her purple stuff around. I was like, wait a second, how's she shooting projectile? What? I thought she was just a telekinesis. What is she doing? How's she doing that? I know she got power. She could possess. I mean, according to Spider-Man, we didn't even know she's Jean Grey yet. Anyway, I hope y'all got your tickets to No Way, a brand new day. I have not. I'm gonna work to the second because I want to do 4DX. I want to be like, And so I'm gonna wait till the next weekend because there was like one time at 8:30 on Sunday. I'm like, hey, I'm not waking up 8:30 in the morning. I mean, you gotta wake up way earlier. You gotta eat first. I'm like, that's a whole mission. I was like, nah, I'll just wait. I'm gonna just wait. So I'll wait till next weekend. So don't spoil it, you bastards. But yeah, yeah. Wolverine is, like I said, the cinematics look real pretty, but that's not the game. And then you look at the cinematics, like that looks cool. Then the game starts playing, like, oh, that's not as cool as Downgrade. Still looks alright, but it's not like, oh, it looks better than Spider-Man. It actually doesn't look better. It almost Spider-Man stylistically, I think it looks better than Wolverine. Just saying. And it feels like it doesn't feel like Wolverine is taking advantage of the PlayStation 5, if that makes sense. It feels like it's like a last gen game with just higher resolution. Maybe some more sprites on the screen. You know what I'm saying? More sprites. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. But yeah. Appreciate you. Like and subscribe. Hit me in the comments below. Let me know what you think about my listo of things that Xbox Helix needs to be, Asha needs to do in order to make it a success and slap, and bury PlayStation 6 or whatever. I think it's a sound list. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. I'll talk to y'all next one. Tilt the weed.